Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and what a win for the Washington football team, beating the Carolina Panthers 27-21 at Carolina and improving to 4-6 on the season. We're going to be recapping the game and talking about the biggest takeaways from today's game. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Hit that like button, turn on those notifications, and make sure you guys go check out WinView. Let's get right into it. Great game by the Washington football team, and let's go ahead and start with the recap. So, Taylor Heinicke, great game by him. 16 for 22, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and no fumbles. That's the most important stat line right there. Not turning the ball over, and Heinicke didn't do that today. So that's great by him, and 3 touchdown passes, and he was just really good today, managing the game. Didn't make not too many insane plays. He had that one where he scrambled and made that great throw to John Bates, but besides that, he was pretty calm and had a great game and, distributed the ball around. I mean, look how many different receivers caught a pass today for us. McKissick, Dax Milne, Cam Sims, DeAndre Carter, John Bates, Adam Humphries, and Terry McLaurin, of course. Gibson, 19 carries for 95 yards and 5 yards a carry. He bounced back after that fumble. That was very costly. They were in their in the red zone. Could have scored at least 3, but could have been 7, and he fumbles. That's been an issue. I think that's his 3rd lost fumble of the year, 5th fumble overall. That cannot happen, and he's got to work on that. And he was in the doghouse for a little bit. It was a short amount of time, but the full a quarter after that, basically, for a full quarter, it was Patterson and McKissick getting the carries. And man, McKissick was looking good out there. He was gutting them. He had 7 carries, 46 yards, 6.6 yards per carry. He was really good in this game. And then Patterson was all right, 7 carries, 23 yards. And let's go to the receivers. And I forgot to say this earlier. I wasn't able to watch the last quarter and a half because I had a, important conflict, but I was still able to go through it on Gamecast. Gonna have to watch the film, but, Terry McLaurin in this game was great. 5 catches, 103 yards, had over 80 yards in the first half. He was just, him and contested catches, just great out there, helping Taylor Heinicke out. Taylor Heinicke also threw some great throws. I mean, that touchdown that Terry scored at the end of the first half, contested catch, great throw by Heinicke, but, Terry McLaurin was getting held and he was getting his, head ripped off of him, and he still was able to come down with the catch. And he had another contested catch in that earlier in that game, 5 catches, 103 yards, and then I saw in the fourth quarter, I believe, he had a nice catch from Heinicke where Heinicke was about to get sacked and he threw it to Terry. So great game by Terry. Adam Humphries, I said this in the stream yesterday with Juan, he doesn't get many opportunities, but he always has a couple big catches every single week. He had a nice big catch before the end of the half that it was third and something, and we needed to convert to keep the drive going, and Taylor Heinicke throws it to Adam Humphries. Adam Humphries makes a great catch and able to move the chains, and that was really important for us. Ending the half with a touchdown. A lot of that was, had to do with Adam Humphries. John Bates had a solid game. He got targeted 3 times, caught 3 passes for 23 yards, where Heinicke, that play where Heinicke was under duress, kind of made a crazy play and just threw it across his body a little bit to John Bates. That's a nice catch by John Bates and an amazing play by Taylor Heinicke. DeAndre Carter was solid in this game. 2 catches, 22 yards. And had a touchdown. Would like for him to get a little bit more involved, but I do understand it just because we only threw the ball 20 times, and the targets were pretty spread out, so I think that's fine. Cam Sims had a nice touchdown catch from Taylor Heinicke. He was solid today. Again, not too many opportunities, but what I like is we were very efficient. Terry McLaurin, 5 catches out of 7 targets. Adam Humphries, 2 for 2. John Bates, 3 for 3. DeAndre Carter, 2 for 3. Cam Sims, 2 for 2. Dax Milne, 1 for 1. And J.D. McKissick, 1 for 2. So very efficient. And I think offense overall today moved the ball pretty well. 200 receiving yards, almost 200 rushing yards. I said this in the preview video. One of the keys to victory: feed Gibson, and because I think their run defense is it's not bad, but it's one of their weaker points on their defense. And Gibson gashed them last season. So great game by the offensive line as well, especially in the run game, and keeping Taylor Heinicke out of trouble sometimes. I think one of the sacks in the first half was on Heinicke. He needs to, do a little bit of a better job throwing it away a little quicker. That's just something he needs to improve on. He also, I forgot to say this, 6 carries for 29 yards. He had a 14-yard run. So good game by Heinicke. The offense overall in general, really good. Only had 1 turnover, and that was the Gibson turnover. If he doesn't turn that over, then we score, at least 3 more points, maybe 7 points. And yeah, the penalties were a little bit costly. Brandon Sheriff had a couple. We had a delay of game as well, so that needs to improve as well. So and Troy Apke had a clutch fumble recovery on the kickoff return I think that was on the touchdown drive we had. So great, awareness by him to be able to get that, because if he doesn't get that, we probably lose this game. Defense came to play again. They allowed that first possession touchdown, which we got to get better at that. But after that, they had a pretty good game. Cole Holcomb, 10 tackles. He had a solid game. Cameron Curl, man, he was good today from what I saw. Again, couldn't watch last quarter-ish, but he had some nice coverage on Christian McCaffrey. Overall, I think Cameron Curl was good today. James Smith-Williams was solid, had half a sack, had a tackle for loss. He was in there, him and Payne on that last play. Landon Collins was solid. I didn't see much of Benjamin St. Juste in this game. Not sure if he even played at all, so that's something to keep your eye out for, because I don't think he was on the inactive list, but maybe he was just there as an emergency guy. William Jackson was okay in this game. One thing, a lot of penalties on defense. We had a horse collar from Cole Holcomb, which a little bit suspect. We had a couple, I'm forgetting them, but we had another one in the first half, which was a 15-yard penalty, and we had another, every drive I think they scored a touchdown. We had a 15-yard penalty on that. So, we had a Cameron Curl out of face mask. So those things have to be limited, and if that happens, that's going to help us out a ton. I thought Kendall Fuller was solid today. Casey Tuo made some plays. He got some quarterback hits out there. He had a couple there. John Payne, Jonathan Allen, the Panthers had a screenplay. Matt Ioannidis and a couple other guys got some pressure on Cam Newton. And, Jonathan Allen hunted down Christian McCaffrey, had a great play out there. Our run defense was definitely struggling in the first half, in the first quarter. Christian McCaffrey was gutting us. I thought they should have ran more than 20 times. Christian McCaffrey only getting 10 carries. That's criminal, because he was, really, really killing us out there in that first half. They went away from that. Cam Newton, 10 carries, 46 yards. He had that nice touchdown run. Cameron Curl and Bob McCain couldn't get them down. That was unfortunate in the first half, and he had 189 receiving yards. And, of course, Christian McCaffrey was their leading receiver. He was really the only guy I was worried about on their offense. DJ Moore a little bit, but more so Christian McCaffrey. So the defense is stacking up games, guys. I told you this after the Broncos game. I was like, man, this defense is really starting to turn a corner. And what do they do after that great game against the Bucs and a good game against the Panthers, only allowing 21 points to, not a great offense, but they're a solid offense. Cam Newton is definitely a big upgrade over Sam Darnold, at least this year. And yeah, just a good win overall by this team. DeAndre Carter, solid in the return game. That fumble, though, really, really scared me, but 2 returns for 26.5 yards. No punt returns, and then Joey Slye just being clutch again. 2 field goals, made both of them. Weren't hard ones, but he made them, and then he had 3 extra points, made all of them, and Tress Way, good as usual, averaged 46.3 yards, a punt. All phases of the game were pretty good today, which, really helps us out, and we're 4-6 right now, so we're in the thick of things. And this game right here, the Panthers were in. If the season ended, let's just say yesterday, they would have been in the playoffs. So this is a good win for us, because not only is it a solid team, but it's also a team we're fighting for, a playoff spot for. So we beat the Panthers. We're 4-6 right now. We play the Seahawks next week. I think that's a winnable game. They've been a little bit rusty as of late. They have Russell Wilson back, but I think that's a winnable game. And then we play the Raiders. If we can win one of those next 2, go into the final stretch at 5-7, maybe even better than that, but if we can go into it at least 5-7, we have the final 5 games against the NFC East where we could do some damage there. We could do some damage and possibly make the playoffs. I'm really happy with this team. Ron Rivera teams, again, guys, are second half teams, and they get better as the season goes on. So just again, great win. Heinicke, the offense, Scott Turner, I thought he called a pretty good game. That one play to DeAndre Carter was a negative 3-yard loss. I didn't like that, but besides that, I like how he stuck to the run game. Look at that, 40 rushes. 40 rushes. I absolutely love that. Milking the clock, not allowing the Panthers to get many drives, and the defense did just enough to get us that win. Just good game all around for us. So thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. We'll have a video out tomorrow and might be doing a stream with DMV Sports Zone, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Peace, guys.